Adam Christ from MyMMANews.com, and I am being joined by the new BKFC Interim Bantamweight Champion. He just took out Jarod Grant via technical decision. The bout was stopped due to an accidental eye poke in the fifth, and they went to the scorecards. Barnett easily secured the victory, and I am being joined by him now. He put in the work. He got it done from the tryouts to now the champion. It is always a pleasure, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just, another day. Wednesday is a family day, so of course I got my family with me. I didn't want them to be with.
So since I have the family here, I'm gonna resort to them. I'll ask them the question first. How proud are we of Daddy after that performance? I mean, come on, that was absolutely spectacular. Give Dad his props. I mean, come on, how proud are we?
Yes. In all honesty, I'm extremely proud of him. During the fight, it was a little nerve-wracking, but it always is. But he will prevail every time, win or lose.
Absolutely, and prevail, he did just that. So, like I said, we're speaking on Wednesday, and as I know, it is family night. So, like I said, with the family being there over everything and anything else, your support system, the fans, the spotlights, blah, 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 how does it feel bringing back that piece of hardware to your support system, your family, your home?
It was, for me, it's been a long road, a lot of ups and downs. So to finally accomplish my goal and bring the gold back home to my family was like, we're going to be all right. We made it this far, and I can keep going.
You speak up often about never quitting and chasing your dreams, and you, my friend, you personify those very words. It's not every day that we can get a second chance, let alone a third chance. So can you talk to me about, like you said, the highs and lows? 3 justifiable cases. Nothing was handed to you. It was hard-earned. And from prison to pay-per-view, like we said, tryouts to champ. What a ride, Reggie.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. It's tough for my family sometimes, dealing with me, and especially the last 2 weeks before the fight. Kind of not the most pleasant dad to be around, or the most pleasant significant other, husband, whatever, with partners. We do this together, and they are still, like most guys go away for camp, and I could have left for camp, done something different, but I couldn't. We made the adjustments that we needed to make.
Oh. Got muted for just a sec. There we are. So you said you could have gone away for camp, but you made the adjustments at home. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could have went away, but we made the adjustment. I said, I told her I'm here, but I'm not here. I'll do what I can, but at the same time, I gotta work. And then, they come and they are at the gym with me. Sometimes, my daughter does her little training stuff, and they come support. And of course, everybody knows Twitchy. My son is a fighter in the making. I had to stop taking my gym bag to practice. I think the 3rd week of camp, because he noticed that whenever I grabbed my gym bag, I was leaving to the gym, and if I didn't take him,
he was all over.
He was mad.
Mad when Daddy has to go to work. But so you said you were making it happen when things were at home, and I wanted to talk about some of the transitions, some of the improvements that you made between your father, Papa Barnett, and Chase Walden of Grindstone Athletics. My guy Chase Walden. I first and foremost, I get to see him at live events up around my way when he's doing judging and reffing, and absolutely love Chase. That's my guy. He is cool as it could possibly be. So shout out Chase Walden right there. But so the improvements right there, the dynamic duo mixing between Muay Thai or Chase's Muay Thai and your father's boxing, it proved to pay dividends, and the vast improvements were made between your last bout and this one. Can you talk to me about those improvements?
Everybody's seen how I started as just a pure boxer and trying to get that transition into a bare knuckle fighter, like a pure bare knuckle fighter. And I think the other day I made that transition. I showed what a first-hand real bare knuckle. Man, what Bobby Gunn was doing, that's that to real bare knuckle boxing, you know, and that's exactly what I did. It took me a
Absolutely.
while to get there, but with the training, really learning the Muay Thai clinching, and the grappling aspect of it, and then also, you know, my Jeet Kudo instructor, Rob Doggett, you have to give him some credit. He wasn't there this time, but you know, we do a lot of work, and then taking my boxing skill and honing it for specific things for bare knuckle. You know, like there are only certain things from boxing that you should use for bare knuckle. Period. Before I didn't know that. You know, like we would go out there and we would be the boxer. We would box and we would do things as a boxer that's not conducive to fighting as a bare knuckle fighter.
Mm.
So
Before, oh, you're fine.
From each, just discipline, and we blended. It took a while, like I said, but I believe that it came out in not perfect fashion. But if you look at how many times I hit him and how many times he hit me, and the damage that I did with not hard punches, but precise punches.
And accumulation of punches as well. But
Yes.
before this fight, you were visibly disgruntled and frustrated. I'm not going to harp on the past. This is my only question on it. Was it simply for being on the shelf for too long?
Yeah, I mean, and then just not knowing when the actual date for the 125 would start. You know, I had been told it would be a certain date, and then it changed again. And I didn't hear anything for a while, and it changed again. It was just like, what do you want to do? I really plan on going down to 125. I'm still going to go down to 125, get my belt down there.
Now, obviously, you and I, we've had a chance to speak throughout the years. I listen to your interviews. I'm a fan of yours. I get to see what you do, and I get it that you're a religious man. So going on that, they say God works in mysterious ways, and I know that you're a religious man. Would you attest that all the frustration, all the background noise leading up to the fruits of your labor, this was a test from a higher power?
Man, you have no idea what I went through the last Friday. Oh God. So, I mean, we didn't even share it after the fact. I split my leg open the third week of camp. Yes. Like, I wasted. And I still trained, and the guy was
I'm so sorry.
You are so fine. It is all good. Little man's got things to say like daddy. I get it. Go ahead, Reg.
So the ceiling collapsed.
Yeah, we had a ceiling collapse in our master bedroom like 2 weeks before the fight. The baby got sick. Like 3 days before we were supposed to leave.
3 days before we were supposed to leave. And then my grandfather passed away the day of weigh-in.
I'm sorry.
Nobody told me. And I looked. I took a picture of the big screen and I was getting ready to post it on social media, and I seen it and I just lost it. And like when you say team and effort, you know, I was really like, this is before we went to step on the field and face off to the end. And James comes over and he goes, "You have my condolences, but you're a professional. So we'll deal with it when the time is for us to deal with it." He said, "You have 10 minutes, make whatever piece you need to make. Pray to whoever you need to pray, and come back over there and deal with it."
Wow.
And having people like that in my corner, you know, of course, her.
Like I didn't. Yeah, I tried really not. I didn't want to tell him because, like, I didn't want that to be on his heart. And I tried. I was tagged in a post from a family member. That's how he saw it. And he had called me that day, and I had just finished crying. And, you know, I was just like, okay. And then when he called, and I was just like, no, just take this and go into the fight with it. And we left it at that. And then once the day came, as you can see, he left it in the ring.
There was a lot of adversity in this, but in some days, but we
adjusted.
Tuck our chin, put our head down, and make the adjustment. And move forward.
With all of that said, how much sweeter does it make this victory?
Oh man, it made it even sweeter. Like, and like I said, it wasn't even about the belt, you know, or the title or anything about that. One, it was, I don't care. I guess I'll say solidifying the spot. Feel like a little bit they were trying to push me out of my spot. No disrespect to the fighters, promoters, and managers, whatever, but I felt like that a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the best fighter in the world, but I'm a pretty damn good one, and I put on this show, and I have since day one. Right. I've only gotten better. So, one, to make sure I solidify my spot. Then, Jarod has his belt back. You still can't have my spot. You can't have his belt back.
Well, man, I'm going to have to go against what you just said, and you're saying I don't know if I'm the best fighter, because I beg to differ, because that belt says a little something different on that night, and your family agrees with me, right? What's up, buddy?
Here's the thing. It's not necessarily about the belt or the medallion. Okay?
Right,
it's
of course.
The fact he literally put on a clinic for the world to see, and ultimately showed how bare knuckle is supposed to be fought.
Yeah. And despite absolutely everything, like the hardships that we go through before the fight and after the fight, that he knows what to do once he steps into that ring. Like, you can see it all fade away. All the crap he deals with before the fight just fade away once he steps into that square circle. Like, it's gone, and he's focused and he's ready.
Like, all he sees is that person. That's it.
Yeah. So, is there a sense of comfort on you guys' end when you see him walking out with the strut, with the dance? Do you know he's at peace of mind when he's making that walk? Yeah.
Yes. We've been going on this ride since we were 18, 19 years old.
We're in our 30s now.
And we're in our 30s.
So I'll do the math.
So very first MMA fight that I ever went to with him to this fight, like the growth. And I know when he comes out with a certain walk and a certain look, I'm like, all right, dude's gonna, it's done, you know? And it's just like,
his walk says everything.
Everything. It's everything.
That's amazing. All credit due to...
Which is his precision. It says everything about how he's feeling that night. Okay.
She feels it. I let her talk, man. It is all good. She's proud of Dad. All credit due to Jarod. He was undefeated. Let's say he's clearly talented and was in there for a reason. But man, you were on that night. Can you tell what felt different compared to potentially other bouts where you might have come up short, if anything? What was different in this bout? You were on.
I lost 2 bouts that I came up short to vaginas, and I'll tell you what was different. I'm sorry.
Welcome to family night, y'all.
Hey, I love it.
If you don't have one, I suggest you get one. You know, I work and I train, and I do so much that I make sure that one night out of the week, I dedicate to my family. It's important that I spend time with them.
I just appreciate you taking the time on family night and including them and allowing me to get a chance to chop it up with the whole Barnett family. It's my honor.
So the Johnny fight, the first one, I just had never fought at that level, at that capacity. Yeah. You know, it was like my first time ever fighting for a world title. Make no excuse, you know. And I think so initially when the fight started and then I got dropped off gate, it just threw me off. And I thought that fight seemed ready. Right? And then the second Johnny fight, he dropped me in the first round only because I leaned into it. That was it. It wasn't that he threw it hard or whatever. I went to go that way, and he caught me. But it didn't hurt. I got up, and I actually took it back to him that first. And then I took it to him the second round, and then he started doing his little dirty tricks and, you know, the stuff that Johnny does, picking me up, spinning me around, hitting me in the back of the head, tripping me, you know, trying to push me out the squirt. No, I'll take away from Johnny. He is who he is as far as his character within the ring, you know. But I honestly, in my heart, I felt like I won that fight. I really do.
Big argument could be made for that. Big argument could be made for that.
If I didn't win, it was a draw, and in my mind, I'm like, well, in my contract, it said if it ends, the championship fight ends in a draw, I get a 6th round. There's a sudden death. They moved it from regular fights to only championship. It's a draw. You get a sudden death. And so in my mind,
oh, you went mute on me again for some reason. Oh, yep, you went mute on me.
What happened?
There we go. You went mute on me just for a second. It was maybe like 15 seconds ago.
All right.
You're good.
But yeah, so those are my only two losses on my record as far as that.
Right. When did you feel that you had Jarod's number in this bout? Like I said, you were on the whole bout, but when did you know you had his number?
When between second and third round, when he's over there slouched on the stool, like gasping, like that, I was like, oh,
It's over.
but I didn't, and I went and I rushed him, and I ran right into a right hand, and he does hit hard, he just throws one punch at a time. And so I was like, all right, I'll be a little more patient. And then the fifth round, I tried to throw that corkscrew punch, and I thought it was the bottom of my knuckle. They said it was the top of my thumb. I feel how I threw it. I wasn't intentionally trying to poke him in the eye. I was trying to hit him right there on the side of the face. My dad and Chase were like, yo, this fight is won. He said, keep popping the jab. When he gets close, go to the body and move. They wanted me to coach, to be honest. And I got off the stool and I was like, no damn decision. Let's go. Period. That's my mentality for now. It will be no damn. Even if I get to the fifth round and I'm winning, we're going to battle it out. I'm still trying to. And that's what, I took a kill in the fifth round too. So I accidentally poked him in the eye.
When the time was called due to the accidental eye poke, in my opinion, you could read your facial expression. Personally, I've been wrong before, but it looked like you were fearful about having something potentially taken away from you due to a technicality, right? And it was obviously a sheer accident. So obviously you had to wait for the dust to settle. Those moments had to seem like forever. But what was your father and what was Chase saying to you that helped you keep your composure, keep you calm?
Chase told me that they had to go to the car to the yard. He did 4 rounds. And my dad was like, it's a punch. That's all my dad said. It's a punch. I know when they ruled it accidental eye poke, he's like, well, it don't matter because you already whooped his ass before. And they were like, calm down. They're not going to take the fight for you. He's like, I can see if you jabbed him in his eye. He didn't do it. I changed the angle of the punch and he ducked down.
So all these years of hard work, and I'm going to start closing it down so you can enjoy family time. When Mr. Live Worldwide, Mr. Jeff Houston, announced new BKFC Bantamweight champion, Reggie Educated Hands Barnett Jr., can you detail the emotions that ran through your head?
I was like, thank you, God, for not letting me die after that was the first thought that went through my head. I'm sorry. I love my family, blah, blah, blah. But the first thought that went through my head, thank you for not letting me die.
Wow. So what does the Barnett family do now with the champion, now with that piece of hardware, now to celebrate?
We get to work in the community, man. That's what we do. We use, I guess, my voice and my platform to do all of us, you know what I mean. She said, my daughter, she really so hard.
We just continue to do what we've been doing, just on a different level.
Yep.
He takes anytime somebody recognizes him or anything like that. We went to the museum on Tuesday, and he was recognized, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And he
didn't recognize me. He
recognized the belt. That's because I was holding it. But when I pointed, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Okay," he saw. You know what I'm saying? He knows who he is. That's what I'm saying by recognize.
No,
but
take it a step further. It's not about him recognizing whatever. Back he was with a group.
That's what I was gonna say.
He was with a group of little kids that were touring the museum or something, and they were like, I was like, it took me 3 tries to get this stuff. I was like, I'm pretty much on my life. I was like, but in my 30s, I finally accomplished one of my biggest dreams. I'm a world champion. I was like, so anything you do in life, no matter how many roadblocks you hit, how many people tell you that it can't be done. Keep working hard. Put God first. Keep working hard, and go get it. No matter who feels for it.
That's what I was gonna say. That he talked to the kids, and
it's just like 2 minutes.
Try to let them know,
none of the kids knew who I was.
Yeah, none of them
But
knew
they
who he was.
looked
So
they looked so into what he was saying.
yeah.
Right. That's awesome, man. I love how you're taking what you've worked so hard for and putting it back, whereas so many people, and you know how social media works today, when somebody gets something, all they want to do is promote themselves. You're giving back, and I have nothing but respect for that. So I'm going to close it down. I know I said that about 10 minutes ago, but again, I know nothing's official, but do you have any idea of what might be lingering next, any time frame you might want to get back in there?
Before the end of the year, we're looking, what is it, August, October, November, as far as the fight date. As far as an opponent, it doesn't really matter at the moment. We know that Bedford doesn't want to fight me. We know that Jack's scared of me. So at 135, there's not really anybody else to fight. I'm not going to push the aspect of me and Bedford running it back. But I would like to be the first 135-pound fighter to solidify their championship, like actually defend whichever belt, whether it's the interim or the actual world titles. That's really, but to successfully defend a title. But I also, like I said, I want to go to 125.
I love it. So I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know if the story could be written in any more interesting, but from the tryouts to the champ, and the story isn't even close to being completed yet.
Yeah.
Reggie, as always, it's a pleasure to chop it up with you. I couldn't be happier for you. Congratulations on winning the BKFC strap. Mr. Educated himself, any final words for your fans? Maybe just a kid out there with a dream.
Don't give up.
Nah, not more than don't give up. I mean, anybody could say, like, don't give up. There are going to be good times and really hard times. But each time you move a little closer to your goal, a little bit. Some people tend to look at how far they have to go instead of how far they want to go. Don't look at how far you have to go. Look at how far you are to come. You move forward. That's what I want.